Hey, everybody, welcome to the Kim Iverson Show. I am Craig Pastor Jardula, filling in for Kim Iverson because, as you know, the show must go on. So, we are in full swing of election season. It's only a week away from the Iowa caucus, the primary that's out there. As you know, the Democrats are not having one, but there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't know if you guys saw this the other day, but there was a little phone call between Joe and Barack Obama. Obama made a call to Joe Biden, to Sleepy Joe. And apparently that's why he made the call, because Joe Biden seems to need some waking up. So we have an article talking about why this happens, because a lot of people are kind of questioning, why do we have to wake Joe Biden up when he got 81 million votes last time? But Obama called, and this was from the Washington Post. He was worried about Trump and Trump regaining power, and that Biden's circle, his inner circle, needs a boost. And this is from the Washington Post. It's talking about the fact that Obama made this phone call to Joe Biden and told him he needs to wake up, that he is being too zen over there, and talk with some of his inner circle. And like I said, there's 81 million people out there that voted for Joe Biden last time. So the question is, why was this phone call made? Well, a lot that's been talked about on this show, I think Kim is one of the first to talk about this for quite some time, is that the Democratic Party and the Democratic donor base really doesn't want Joe Biden, even though he got 81 million votes last time and couldn't fill my living room. Well, maybe this is the start right now of manufacturing some consent to start to get rid of him. I think it's been mentioned on this show before. I've heard Garland Nixon mention it on his show too as well, that they want to possibly come and bring somebody in at the last second to remove Joe Biden and kind of implement one of their chosen ones. A lot of people feel that's Gavin Newsom. That's why there was a lot of talk about him. He went to China. He spoke to Xi Jinping. So that's what this is all about. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I know that right now that things have been a little bit kind of, aside from the Israeli war, and before that, maybe the situation with the fires in Hawaii, and before that, we had this long, dreadful war in Ukraine that we couldn't stop talking about. But right now, it's the time. Election season is in full mode. I'm going to talk a lot about this today. So Joe Biden gets a phone call from Barack Obama, who's kind of whipping up a lot of stuff. You might have also seen some stuff online too as well. They seem to be bringing out people like Michelle Obama. So that's another one. If I had to rank them, I'd say that Pete Buttigieg would be number 3. I'd say that number 2 would be Michelle Obama. And number 1, I think your choice is going to be, of course, Gavin Newsom, with that hair and that presidential look. So that's what's going on right now. We have Sleepy Joe getting a call from Barack Obama. There was another article too as well, other than the Washington Post that we looked at. We looked at Axios, because Axios gave a little insight to what certain people were saying. If you remember the Obama campaign, some of the masterminds behind it, David Axelrod was also whipping the phones too as well. And he had mentioned that, maybe they should, change things up a little bit. It says Obama's political architect told us the race is winnable, but worrisome. That's the word that they're using right now. There's some optimism there that they can turn things around, that it is early. Like I said, election season just kicked off. We're almost just a week out from what's going on, from the first primaries out there. So this is what they're going to do. No Democrat wants panic, right? They're saying that whatsoever. But, I mean, there's nothing really to campaign on when it comes to Joe Biden. So that's what you see what's going on right now. You see the Democratic establishment going right into play. Obama's making the phone calls, which a lot of people think that Barack Hussein Obama is one of the masterminds behind Sleepy Joe Biden. But it's going to be very interesting. And I think a lot of things that were talked about on this particular show right here, when it comes to Joe Biden, I know Kim has talked about Gavin Newsom coming into play, but it's what that man, Barack Obama, who appears to be running the wing that's in control of the Democratic Party, all his cohorts like David Axelrod and all these other insiders, they're whipping up some noise. So first, what we're going to see is you're going to see something like this. The public is now going to be stirred. The Democratic base is going to be saying, oh my God, Barack Obama's on the phone. He's whipping things up. What's up next? Next, you might see, Joe Biden. I didn't want to. I wanted to run. I wanted to be your president. We accomplished so many things. Bidenomics, which they've stopped talking about, all these other things. There, Bidenomics that they've stopped talking about. We've accomplished so much too. We put Putin on his heels. We've had all this diversity within our cabinet. All this stuff you see is going to be coming out, but then he's going to say, but I'm going to do what's best for my country. And I'm going to step aside. I'm going to make sure we get somebody who's going to stand up to the bullies like Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping. And he's going to step aside. I think what Kim called when she said they're going to wait to the last second to do it, because if they did it right now, that would cause a lot of chaos. But in many states, it's only Biden on the ballot. In Florida, where I'm at right now, he's the only person on the ballot, despite Marianne Williamson and other candidates that you probably wouldn't even heard about that have got the right to run in a Democratic primary process. However, this is the beginning of the end, and this is where it's going to start getting exciting, guys. So watch for these moves to be made. We started with this. The Obama call is the thing that's going to whip it off and send it on off. And next thing you know, they'll be stepping aside Joe Biden. And a lot of people are saying, why isn't Kamala going to run? Why wouldn't they just elevate Kamala? Well, Kamala couldn't even get one delegate in her own state, California. So I don't think they're going to choose her. My outsider candidate is Pete Buttigieg. Why? Because he's everything the Democratic Party loves, the LGBTQ community. So they got some diversity there. But I think a populist candidate, somebody who's really popular within that base, like a Michelle Obama or a Gavin Newsom, will be your choice. So this is a signal, ladies and gentlemen. Campaign season is starting off, and it's starting off with a bang. Obama calls Biden. We got a lot of show for you today. I am Craig Pasta Jardula, host of Pasta To Go. That's the number 2.